I paid $40,000 for my sister's wedding. Then she told my 12-year-old daughter to wait in the car. Hi, I'm Mason, 42, and last month I canceled my sister's $40,000 wedding at 11:59 p.m. because she told my 12-year-old daughter to wait in the car. That's not an exaggeration. That's not a metaphor. She literally looked at my kid, my quiet, sweet, motherless daughter in a navy dress, and said, "She can't be here. No plus ones." Let's rewind. I'm a widower. My wife, Amelia, passed from pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. Our daughter, Chloe, was 9. Now she's 12, and she's the reason I breathe. I run a mid-size horse ranch just outside Flagstaff, Arizona. Think hay bales, dusty boots, and the kind of community where everyone knows what time your sprinklers go off. So when my younger sister, Bianca, got engaged to her walking sports bar of a fiancé, Bryce, she asked me to help fund the wedding. And by help, I mean she called crying at 10 p.m., saying, "Mason, the venue needs a deposit and Bryce's parents backed out. Can you just cover it for now? You know I'd do it for you." Lie. She wouldn't cover a dry cleaning bill for me, let alone a $40,000 deposit. But I did it. Not because I trusted her. Because Chloe was at the kitchen table coloring wedding cards for her aunt, and I couldn't bring myself to disappoint her again. So the deposit was paid. Under my name. Because Bianca said, "It's just easier." That should have been the warning bell, right? It wasn't. I kept paying. $2,000 for the dress. $5,000 for the flowers. Another $6,000 for the band because Bryce's cousin sings backup vocals for a Bruno Mars tribute band, and we need to fly him in. Meanwhile, I was hearing nothing about the guest list. Every time I asked, Bianca would say, "We're keeping it intimate." Turns out, intimate meant Bryce's entire frat got custom welcome bags, and my daughter got told to wait in the car. Literally. We were in the entryway of Bianca's rental house the night before the wedding. Chloe stood there in that navy dress, her hair pinned up, asking if she looked okay. And Bianca, clipboard in hand, not even looking at her, says, "Oh, Mason, you didn't bring her, did you?" She looked at Chloe like she was someone's purse. I said, "She's 12. She's not a date. She's my daughter." Bianca smiled like she was explaining TSA policy. "No plus ones. We're doing photos now. Maybe she can wait in the truck?" Wait. In the truck. I didn't yell. I didn't cuss. I just looked at Chloe's face, her trying to hold it together, and I felt something snap clean in half inside me. I said, "Come on, sweetheart." And we walked. Out that door, out of that house, and out of a family that never really saw my daughter as part of it. Bianca texted me an hour after I walked out. "You're really not coming?" No apology. No backtrack. No, sorry. Chloe felt hurt. Just that passive-aggressive guilt bomb like I was ruining her big day. I replied with 2 words. "Nope. Gift's still coming." And it was. Just not the one she expected. See, when I paid that $40,000 deposit months ago, I insisted, because I'm not a total idiot, that my name stay on the contract. Bianca had pouted, said it would mess with the vibe of her vision, but the venue insisted the payer had to be the official client. So legally, the whole wedding was booked under my name. And now she'd made it crystal clear, my daughter wasn't welcome. Not my plus one. Not family. Just an inconvenience in patent leather flats and a navy dress she'd picked out with her mom's photo beside her. So I did what any emotionally exhausted, financially drained widower with a backbone and a breaking point would do. I opened my laptop. The venue had a 24-hour emergency number for contract holders. I knew this because Bianca made me call it once when she panicked about whether the hydrangeas would match the bridesmaids' dresses. I called. A woman named Lauren picked up. She sounded tired, like she'd dealt with too many bridal meltdowns already that week. "Hi, I'm Mason Delaney," I said. "I'm the client for the Madison Hollow event space tomorrow." There was a pause, some clicking. "Yes, I see your name here. Tomorrow evening, private ceremony and reception. What can I help you with?" "I need to cancel," I said. Silence. Then, "Sir, the deposit is non-refundable." "I know." More silence. Then cautiously, "Can I ask why you're canceling?" I looked out the window at Chloe. She was curled up on the porch swing with her sketchpad, drawing a picture of her horse, Scout. She hadn't said a word since we got home. I said, "Because the bride told my daughter to wait in the car like she was someone's extra coat. And I'm done paying for that kind of love." There was another pause. Then Lauren's voice softened a bit. Understood, Mr. Delaney. I'll begin the cancellation process now. The deposit will be retained. The remaining balance will not be charged. Perfect, I said. Can you send me a confirmation? It'll be in your inbox within 10 minutes. It came at exactly 11:59 p.m. Subject, event status update. Client, Mason Delaney. Status, canceled. Deposit, $40,000, non-refundable. Balance due, $0. I screenshotted the email. Sent it to Bianca with no caption. 30 seconds later. What is this? Are you kidding me? Mason, this is psychotic. You ruined my life. I didn't reply, because I hadn't ruined her life. I just stopped paying to be part of it. The next morning, my phone went off like a siren. Buzzing, lighting up, shaking across the kitchen counter like it was trying to escape. First Bianca, then my mom, then my dad, then Bryce, then mom's best friend Carol, then a random cousin I hadn't heard from since Chloe was in diapers. None of them asked how Chloe was. None of them said sorry. Every single call was about the wedding, the cake, the guests, the embarrassment. Bianca texted again. Mason, please. The venue's locked. The planner says it's canceled. You have to fix this. Chloe can come. Okay, she can come. Just undo it. I sat at the kitchen table, coffee going cold, watching Chloe across the room. She was feeding Scout an apple slice from her palm. The horse took it gently, like he knew she needed softness. That was the thing. Bianca wasn't suddenly including Chloe out of love. She was bargaining. Chloe wasn't a niece. She was a PR problem. And I wasn't going to sell my daughter's dignity for a few wedding photos. I opened a group text. Bianca, my mom, my dad. Typed one line. I won't fund a family my daughter isn't part of. Then I hit send. Then I blocked them. All of them. I didn't slam doors. I didn't post anything. I didn't rant to friends or family. I made pancakes. Chloe sat at the table in her pajamas, eyes puffy from sleep and probably everything else. She poked at her plate. Is Aunt Bianca mad? She asked. I sat across from her. Yeah, I said. She is. Chloe bit her lip. Is it my fault? No. I said it sharp and clear. No, sweetheart. Not even a little. You didn't do a single thing wrong. She nodded. Slowly. Quietly. And I knew she didn't fully believe me yet. Because when people show you your worth over and over again, and that worth is optional, you start to internalize it. That's what burned. They hadn't just excluded her from a wedding. They'd taught her she was easy to cut. And for once, I had finally cut back. Not out of revenge, but because my kid deserved a father who put her first, even when it cost him $40,000. 3 days after the wedding that wasn't, my dad drove out to the ranch. No call. No text. Just his big gray Silverado rumbling up the dirt road like it had something to prove. He parked crooked, slammed the door, and stood at the gate like a cowboy sheriff in a low-budget western. I walked out to meet him, wiping my hands on a rag. I'd just finished repairing a busted fence rail with Chloe, who was now inside making lemonade like a tiny old soul. Dad didn't waste time. You cost your sister her wedding, he snapped. I raised an eyebrow. She cost my daughter her place in this family. He folded his arms, scowling like he was waiting for me to crack. It was one event, Mason. One. You could have let it go. No, I said. It was the last one in a long line of events where Chloe was treated like a footnote. He scoffed. You're acting like she's some victim. I stared at him cold. She is a victim. And the fact that sentence makes you roll your eyes tells me everything. He tried another angle, lowered his voice. So what now? You're just gonna throw 40 grand in the trash? I didn't flinch. Nope. I saved myself from paying the remaining 60. His mouth fell open a little. Wait, what? I nodded slowly. Bianca had it set up, so I'd be on the hook for the full venue balance. The deposit locked me in. I was the only one on the contract. He took a step back. She told us you were just helping temporarily. I was the whole wedding budget, Dad. He looked stunned. Like for the first time, he realized I wasn't just being dramatic. Then he got mad. You're selfish, he said. I laughed once, short and tired. You mean the truck tires I bought for you last winter selfish? The 4 months of Mom's credit card payments? The property tax loan you forgot to repay? He looked away. You all treated Chloe like a guest in her own family, I said quietly. And I let it happen. Over and over. That ends now. He tried the guilt card next. Your mother's been crying. I'm sure, I said. So was Chloe. In the truck. After being told to wait like luggage. He didn't have a comeback for that. Just stood there, red-faced and breathing hard. Finally, he muttered, "We're family. We don't do this to each other." And I nodded once. Exactly. Then I turned around and walked back toward the house. Because I'd finally learned the truth. Family isn't about blood. It's about who makes space for your kid in the room, without needing to be paid for it. That night, Bianca came for round 2. Not in person, thank God. She'd been cut off from the ranch, physically and financially. But texts? Oh, she had texts. First, the angry face. "You ruined the most important day of my life. Do you have any idea what people are saying about me? Bryce's family thinks I'm unstable now. They called me dramatic." Then the melodramatic phase. "I can't stop crying. I haven't eaten since Saturday. You embarrassed me in front of 100 people." This was supposed to be my fairy tale. Then the manipulative sweetness. "Mason, can we just talk? I miss my big brother. Let's meet for coffee. You can bring Chloe. Tell Chloe I'm sorry she felt excluded." That last one. That was the match to the gasoline. Sorry she felt excluded. Not sorry she was excluded. Not sorry she told my grieving, 12-year-old daughter to wait in the damn truck. Just sorry Chloe had emotions about it. I didn't reply, because I finally understood what I'd been to Bianca all along. A walking checking account with cowboy boots. So I did what I should have done years ago. I opened my banking apps and started unplugging every pipe she and my parents had quietly tapped into. Auto payments? Canceled. Monthly transfers? Gone. Loan repayments that had no real terms and even fewer chances of ever being paid back? Dead. I changed my passwords. Unlinked their accounts. Called the bank to block external transfers unless personally verified. And just like that, click, 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 years of quiet exploitation stopped. The money stayed with me. With Chloe. In our life. Our real one. Not the photo op version my family had tried to sell. And the silence that followed was beautiful. Not peaceful. Not yet. But quiet in the way that tells you the noise was never love. It was just a transaction. And I had finally closed the account. A week passed. No calls. No texts. No one dropped by. Just silence. Until my mom rang me from a blocked number, leaving a voicemail like she was auditioning for a Lifetime movie. "Mason, we don't understand. We're your family." That was the whole message. No mention of Chloe. No, "How are you two holding up?" No apology. Just pure confusion, like the family credit line had frozen for no reason. 2 hours later, Bianca texted, "Mom's credit card is overdue. Can you just cover the minimum this month?" I stared at it for a full minute. Not "How's Chloe?" Not "Can we talk?" Just a bill. Like I was still a vendor they forgot to pay. Then my Aunt Ruth called. She's the quiet one. Always brings pie to holidays. Always watches from the corners. "Honey," she said gently. "I heard about the wedding." I braced myself. But she surprised me. "I'm sorry," she said. Truly, what Bianca did was wrong. And so was everyone who stood by and let it happen. I sat down on the porch steps. I wasn't used to that, someone seeing it. Ruth kept going. "She's telling people you snapped. That you're bitter. That you're using Chloe as an excuse. But Mason, we all saw it. We've seen it for years. The way she treats your girl." I felt something tighten in my throat. Because that meant all those years Chloe was pushed to the edge of family photos? Forgotten during presents? Asked one rush question at dinner while everyone else got full conversations? They saw it. And did nothing. Before we hung up, Ruth added one more thing. "Your parents have been using the land revenue from your grandfather's estate like it's theirs. You might want to look into it." And just like that, the whole machine became clear. This wasn't just about a wedding. This was about a system. One that thrived on me paying up and shutting up. Well, the Bank of Mason had closed. And the lights weren't coming back on. I pulled the land records that same night. Turns out Aunt Ruth was right. The quarterly disbursements from my grandfather's estate, meant to be split evenly among his children, had been quietly rerouted. A joint account was listed. One that only had 2 names on it. My parents. And guess who'd been paying the taxes on that land for the last 3 years? Me. They'd pitched it as temporary help. Just until the trust settles. "We'll pay you back when we sell the lake cabin." Lies layered in nostalgia and guilt. I printed the documents. Black and white proof that I wasn't crazy. But here's the kicker. None of that shocked me anymore. What did? Finding Chloe's notebook on the kitchen table later that night. She hadn't said much since the wedding. Just gone about her routines, helping with chores, sketching the horses, humming under her breath while she worked like she always did when something hurt. But on that page, she'd drawn a picture. It was of us, me and her, sitting on the porch swing, Daisy the horse next to us, a giant heart above our heads, and inside it, the words, "Just us is enough." I stared at it until my eyes blurred, because in her quiet, careful way, Chloe had given me something none of them ever had. Validation. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't bitter. I was a dad doing what dads are supposed to do, protect their kids from harm. Even when that harm comes from people who share your last name. Even when it costs you thousands. Even when it earns you silence instead of understanding. So I put her drawing on the fridge. I turned off my phone. And for the first time in years, I felt like I had my house back. Not just the building. The peace. The priority. The point. 2 weeks later, Bianca showed up at the ranch. Uninvited. Unannounced. And somehow still wearing white. She pulled up in a silver rental car, stepped out in designer sunglasses like she was making an entrance on a reality show, and immediately started waving like she was afraid I might sick the horses on her. I was out front, checking fence lines with Chloe. She saw Bianca and instinctively stepped back, half hiding behind me like a shadow. Bianca smiled, tight and theatrical. "Mason," she said, like we were picking up a conversation from brunch. "Can we talk?" I didn't move. "Say what you need to say." She glanced at Chloe, clearly uncomfortable. "Maybe alone?" I raised an eyebrow. "You want privacy from the person you told to wait in the truck?" Bianca's smile cracked for just a second. "I didn't mean that. It was a misunderstanding. $40,000 says otherwise." She exhaled, all huff and no air. "Okay, look, I messed up. But it got out of hand, Mason. People are talking. Bryce's family is furious. His uncle pulled the honeymoon sponsorship. I've lost so much already." I let the silence stretch. Chloe stood beside me, arms crossed. Not scared, just done. Bianca tried again. "I just think, if you came back into the fold, maybe we could." "No," I said. "We're not folding anything. This isn't a laundry situation. This is me building a new standard." She blinked. I kept going. "If you want a relationship with me, it starts with respecting my daughter. Not just tolerating her. Not treating her like a prop. Not smiling at frat boys while ignoring the kid who lost her mom." Her voice snapped. "Mason, I said I was sorry." "No, Bianca. You said you were sorry she felt excluded. That's not an apology. That's PR damage control." She turned pink, then red, then pale. Then she did what every member of my family eventually did when they realized I wasn't going to fund their lifestyle anymore. She left, got in the rental, peeled out like she was escaping dignity. As the dust settled, Chloe leaned against me. "She's mad. She's small," I said. Chloe looked up. "Are we going to be okay?" I looked around. At our fence, our barn, our horses, our quiet little house on the ridge. I thought about the money I still had, the peace I'd reclaimed, the drawings still pinned to the fridge. I nodded. "We already are. And that's the end of it. Not a fairy tale. Not revenge. Just a man and his daughter choosing each other over people who only ever chose themselves. Just us. And it really is enough."